So yeah, that's how I fought a bear. Hey everybody, it's Jared Wade, Communications Director for the town of Avon, and I am here with Town Manager Ryan Cannon. Last night on the 20th of October, 2022, we had a town council meeting, and there's a lot on the agenda, so we're going to jump right into it. Let us know what happened.
Yeah, so did have a kind of a busy agenda. So the first thing we did was our police chief, Sean Stoops, got up and sought approval for some forensic software and licensing stuff that they use to review information on cell phones. It's an annual agreement, and kudos to the Avon Police Department. They were able to get a grant to pay for 100% of that software. So they got that approved. It was about $34,000. So again, great job to the Avon Police Department. Another way that the Avon Police are keeping our community safe. So thank you again to Sean and the Avon Police. The next thing we had on the agenda was a confirmatory resolution for a tax abatement. So I'm sure all of you have seen the new construction that's going on the north side of County Road 100 South. And there's a second industrial building that's being built. It's 1 million square feet, 9,000. So they were asking for a tax abatement from the town council for that building. The town council held a public hearing. There was no feedback that they received, and so they did actually approve that tax abatement for that property. So that will move forward with construction as well. Then the next thing on the agenda was a resolution adopting a fiscal plan. The town is working to annex Oxford Park, which is a neighborhood over by the Parks of Prestwick. We've been working with the residents there to get annexed into the town of Avon. They've expressed interest in doing that. So we're working with them to annex it. And so this is just one step in the process. The fiscal plan is the town council has to do an analysis to determine how they'll provide services to the area once it's annexed. So they did review that fiscal plan and approve it. So the next step will be to have a public hearing for that annexation, which will actually happen first part of next year. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. There'll be more information about that. Really, the big agenda items were we actually had the town council had 3 rezonings on the agenda. So I'm going to kind of go through those 3. That the majority of the meeting was spent on these 3 issues. So the first one was for a subdivision called Glen Rock Springs. They were asking to rezone the property to R3. If you guys are familiar with the area behind Rural King, there's about 10 acres behind Rural King. And they were proposing a single-family home subdivision there. Again, it was going to be zoned R3, so it was going to be about 3 units per acre.
Right now it's zoned
C3, which means it was zoned for commercial or kind of transitional office type of a use.
Gotcha.
So the town council did end up declining that request for rezoning. And their justification for that was that it didn't meet our comprehensive plan. Our comprehensive plan identified it as an area for innovation, which is really sticks with that C3 zoning, meaning they'd prefer for it to be an office or something type of use like that. So that did get declined. And so no subdivision there. It'll stay C3 zoning for now. The next one was for a new hotel on County Road 900 East. If you guys are familiar with the Costco area, which I think most people are, right across the street on the east side of County Road 900, you may have noticed there's some public hearing signs there. They're proposing to buy a couple of those homes and actually construct a home to suites. And so they were requesting a rezoning from residential, which is how it's zoned now, to a commercial zoning district, which would have permitted a hotel. And that rezoning was approved. And so look for that coming soon. They'll have to still go through a platting and a DPR process, but somewhere down the road, that development will occur. And then the last one was on Ronald Reagan Parkway. It was another rezoning. They were proposing to rezone it from a commercial district to a planned unit development, but they were actually proposing to do an apartment complex with about 300 units, and then they were going to have a commercial outlot. So that they were proposing to make that change. That one was also declined 4-1. The issue with that one was pretty similar to the one with the Glen Rock Springs. Our comprehensive plan shows that area as industrial commercial, and the town council has really stood by the fact that the Ronald Reagan corridor, they want that to be the opportunity to diversify our tax base, to not necessarily have residential development in that area. And so again, not consistent with our comprehensive plan, and potentially not the highest and best use for the property. So that was declined as well.
Mhm.
So again, zoning stays C3, and we'll look for something else to come along in the future on that property. So that was all the rezonings. That was the majority of the meeting. We also had a final reading for the annexation, again, for that same property where the hotel's proposed to go, which is MHG. The two of the properties were actually in the county, so the town is having to annex those. So this was the last step in the process. The town council did approve the annexation of those properties, so that will come into the town of Avon. And then the final thing is an additional appropriation. This is something we have to do every year. It's a budget adjustment. We talked earlier about how like the police department got grants, so we have to appropriate that money to make the police able to spend it. So every year, typically towards the end of the year, we do an additional appropriation ordinance to add that money into the budget so that we can actually spend it. So that was introduced, and
Boom.
that was it.
It was a big meeting. Lots of people, lots of town residents that came. We appreciate you coming. We appreciate you sharing your insights and your feelings and your thoughts about what was going on. Another one of the great parts about being in the town is you have that ability to reach out to the council. You have that ability to voice your concerns and make sure that those people that are making the decisions know what is going on. So ultimately, the council, in my opinion, did a fantastic job of respecting everyone's time that they had to speak. They also gave a great reasoning into why they made their decisions, and you kind of touched on that a little bit. If you want to learn more about that, you can always stream our past meetings. You can go to avongov.org, and then under the How Do I tab, it says View Live Stream Meetings, and all of our meetings are on there. You can view them at any point in time if you so wish to just hear a little bit more and find out more detail about what was going on. Next town council meeting is
November 3rd.
November 3rd.
Yep. We're changing to 1st and 3rd for November and December. So those of you who like to follow, our meeting schedule is a little bit different than normal. So
yep, you can always find those schedules on the calendar on avongov.org as well. You can actually subscribe to them and put them right into your phone, so that way you don't ever miss anything. So Ryan, thank you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend. The weather is supposed to get nice outside.
It's supposed to be beautiful. Enjoy the weekend.
Be safe. Bye, everybody.
Bye.